Hey fellow crickets, today I want to talk some Witcher lore with you. I've rated the most powerful Witcher characters and I'll tell you a bit of backstory about them. Tell me down in the comments below if you disagree with my list or if there's a character you would have liked to see on the list. Subscribe if you like what I'm doing and let's go. Oh, and lore spoilers ahead. Number 10. BONHART. People described him as a tough son of a making his living as a bounty hunter and an excellent one at that. Witchers posed no threat to him, which he showcases by parading around the medallions of the ones he slew. When Ciri fought him for the first time, she stood no chance, and even Cahir met his fate like countless others before him, as BONHART is probably one of the best sword fighters alive. However, after Ciri developed her abilities and grew a lot stronger as a person, they met again in a showdown at Striga Castle, the home of Vilgefortz, where Ciri was finally able to put an end to him. Number 9. LETHO. LETHO is one of the characters who really portrays what I like about the Witcher universe. There are no Disney good or evil characters, everyone is grey with his or her own motivations and morals. LETHO and Geralt met for the first time in the forest of Angren when LETHO was near death being struck by a slight's tail, and Geralt saved his life. To pay him back, he took care of Yennefer when Geralt traded himself into the service of the Wild Hunt in exchange that Yennefer will be free. However, Yennefer was suffering from amnesia, and being a mage with no memory in addition to her temper was not a good thing in Nilfgaard, where magic was not tolerated as it was in the north. They were locked up in the end, and the Emperor of Nilfgaard offered a deal to LETHO. Freedom for sowing cards in the north, which LETHO achieved with great success, killing off 2 kings of the northern kingdoms. Depending on your actions in Witcher 2 and Witcher 3, LETHO may fight you to the death, or even support you in the defense of Kaer Morhen. Number 8. Sorceresses. At this point, I'm talking primarily about the strongest sorceresses like Philippa, Triss, Yennefer, and co. Each sorceress has mastered unique abilities. Triss is your typical fire mage, Yennefer delves a bit more into the cult, and Philippa is able to use shape-shifting powers but also harnesses the power of lightning. But if it would only be about the usual powers, then they wouldn't be so high up on the list. It is their hidden potential that grants them their spot, like when Triss was able to conjure a mighty hailstorm which covered the whole town of Vengerberg because a beloved Witcher was lying in his own blood, slowly fading away. Those spells can only be cast in moments of high emotion, and they can have a tremendous impact. In the defense of Kaer Morhen, Yennefer was able to create a mighty shield against the White Frost, and Triss conjured up meteors from the sky. Number 7. EREDIN. Appointed as the general of the Red Riders, it was his task to find a sufficient number of slaves for the empire of the NLLs, and they prefer humans over other species. After discovering that their old homeworld and Seid was now controlled by humans, EREDIN and his Red Riders became furious, branding this world as their primary target for raids from now on. A lot has happened since then, involving unicorns, Ciri, the assassination of his own king, and so on, leading up to the events in Witcher 3, where EREDIN is on Ciri's trail to obtain the power to travel between worlds. Not only is he a mighty warrior and the king of the Wild Hunt, but he's also able to use powerful magic like the curse he inflicted on Eveleth in the forests of Ardskellig. Number 6. Higher Vampires. In contradiction to ordinary lesser vampires, higher vampires like Regis and Dettlaff are very rare. They are incredibly intelligent, look exactly like a human being, and can evade detection even from a Witcher's medallion. Each higher vampire has unique abilities, and they do not need blood to survive, even though blood is like a drug to them. In combat, you never want to parry a vampire's blow because in their beast form they have an incredible amount of strength. This gets even harder because they can turn invisible at will and their regeneration heals wound almost instantly. And if you kill it, then they won't stay dead forever, because only a higher vampire can kill another higher vampire. Number 5. Geralt. A simple Witcher with one big flaw: feelings and emotions, which bring him from one desperate situation to another, risking his life for numerous people in the process. But from every struggle, from every scar he learned and improved, and where he was outmatched, he could turn the fight because of his determination and his purpose. It was not his life that mattered, but the one of Ciri, and he would do everything to protect her. With this fire burning in his heart, no sorceresses, no witches, no monsters, not even higher vampires could stand in his way. Some foes have been stronger than Geralt, but with the combined effort of his friends, he was able to proceed when no one else could. Number 4. Vilgefortz. Vilgefortz is the main villain of the book series, and his evilness can definitely keep up with Cruella de Vil and the likes. Planning to plant a child inside Ciri, he already experimented with tons of women, and not talking about anything sexual here. Vilgefortz is a scientist, and he perfected a lot of different tools to ensure everything works when he finally gets Ciri in his hands. Numerous people have tried to defeat Vilgefortz, and even Geralt couldn't stand a chance. He was only vanquished by the combined effort of Regis, Geralt and Yennefer, but even that fight would have been lost if not for the amulet Fringilla made for Geralt. And poor Regis had to die as well. So I'll proclaim Vilgefortz one of the most powerful mages in the Witcher universe. Number 3. Ciri. Ciri's powers are boundless. She can jump through time and space in the blink of an eye, and she was able to cast magic until she forsook that power. Through most of the book she was not able to control her abilities, but after Avallac'h took her into his care, she made good progress even though she was never entirely in control. Probably her biggest power outburst was in the defense of Kaer Morhen, where she was able to defeat the whole of the Wild Hunt and force them to retreat. She would have destroyed Kaer Morhen and all living beings there as well, if not for the mastery of Avallac'h. Number 2. Unseen Elder. In The Witcher's Blood and Wine expansion, Geralt and Regis may seek the help of one of those powerful beings, not only in Toussaint, but in the whole world. The Unseen Elder is only one of the Unseen Elders, very old, and hire vampires from another world, able to dominate other vampires as well. Guarding the closed gate to his homeworld, he despises guests, and only higher vampires with very good reasons are allowed to disturb him. His strength is supernatural, he moves in the blink of an eye, striking down Geralt with one strike, and he can summon any other vampires to a specific area. None could defeat this monster in open combat. And finally, number 1, Gaunter O'Dim, the Master Mirror or Man of Glass. When Geralt asks what he is and what he does, he replies, in brief, I give folk what they ask for. You might say I simply grant their wishes. But there is always a twist, which Geralt learns most notably when encountering Olgierd of Everic, who was granted an immortal life, but paid with a heart of stone, unable to enjoy. Gaunter stops time with a snap of his fingers, he takes souls at will, and he manipulates reality, or as he says, fulfilling wishes. His only weakness is his gambling nature, and the only chance to defeat him is in a battle of wits, where the stakes are no less than your own souls. And don't expect a fair battle. Gaunter will exploit every loophole he can to claim the souls of his victim. In the very unlikely case that someone outwits O'Dim, then he's finally free, but Gaunter can't be killed. He will be back. Do you want to see more lore videos? Then tell me down in the comments below and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. I've already did some lore in my card spotlight series, which you can find over here. Thanks for watching and see you over in the next video.